Hey, my name is Marty Leeds, and today we're going to take a look at the English alphabet and its relationship to pi. I'm also going to perform a magic trick, and I'm also going to find Jesus. Pi is simply the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. So if your diameter of a circle is 1, your circumference will be 3.1415. Pi is an infinite transcendental number. A circle, or pi, represents all or nothing. Of course, a circle is nothing more than a zero, and a circle also encapsulates the most amount of space. So you have the idea of zero and everything. A whole number equivalent to pi, or approximate, we can get by dividing 22 by 7, equaling 3.142. And this is the approximation of pi that we're going to use today. The ancient art of gematria is the art of assigning numbers to letters to reveal deeper meaning and significance to words. Now, we get the word gematria from the Hebrew language, and this translated to geometry in the Greek language and geometry in English language. In sacred geometry, heaven was always known as a 3, as a circle, and earth was always known as a 4, as a square. And 3 plus 4 equals 7. 7 is going to be an important number as we move on. One thing we're going to need to know before we move on is the idea of prime numbers. Now, a prime number is nothing more than a number divisible by 1 and itself. So if we can walk up our number line and we can pull out our prime numbers, 1 is not considered a prime because 1 is, of course, 1, everything. 2, 3 are prime. 4 is not because 4 can be divided by 4, 2, and 1. 5 is a prime. 6 is not because 6 can be divided by 6, 2, 3, and 1. 7 is a prime. 8, 9, 10 are not. 11 is. 12 is not a prime, and 13 is a prime. Notice 7 is the highest prime number in our base 10 system. 7 has always been known as a very holy number, so let's take a look at the number 7. Of course, there are 7 days of the week, and 7 deadly sins, and 7 days of creation, and 7 notes of the major scale, 7 colors of the rainbow, and in the endocrine system we have 7 chakras, or energy centers. Of course, all these things have to do with you. You walk through the 7 days of the week with your 7 deadly sins. You're a product of the 7 days of creation, and you sing and speak the 7 notes of the major scale. We are nothing more than energy, which is light, and so we are the 7 colors of the rainbow, and we do our spiritual work with our 7 chakras, all having to do with you. One thing we're going to need to know is the Tetragrammaton, and this was the holy name of God, or Yahweh, or Jehovah in the Hebraic language. And the Tetragrammaton was symbolized as pi 7, pi 7. Now, Yahweh, or Jehovah, in the Hebraic cipher added up to 26. Of course, we have 26 letters in the alphabet. So let's take a look at the word tetragrammaton. Tetra means 4, or 4 on earth, and grammaton is where we get the word grammar. This 4, or tetra, is also the 4 characters of the tetragrammaton. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the Pythagorean schools, one of the cornerstones of the Pythagorean schools was called the tetractys, and this was just simply the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 coming together to make bowling pins. Of course, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 10, and 10 is completion because we have 10 fingers. So before we take a look at the 26 letters in the alphabet, let's take a look at what is language. What is language? When did it originate? How did it develop? Language is a part of everything we do. We dream, we communicate, we think. Does language have an inherent structure? Is it random? Is it merely an epiphenomenon of the ghost in the machine that is consciousness? Is it simply an evolutionary advantage? Modern science believes that language was born between 50,000 and 150,000 years ago, which basically means it has no idea. All the science that's done in contemporary science is mere speculation, and language is actually considered one of the biggest problems in contemporary science. Since modern science doesn't have any answers for us, let's take a look at the Bible. From the New Testament, John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and ultimately that Word was made flesh. So what is this Word that St. John the Divine speaks of? The word word was derived from the Greek term logos, and the logos was considered the animating principle pervading all things. Of course, if there was an animating principle that pervaded all things, that would be omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. And of course, these three O's are God. In the English language, we know logo as symbol. Logos literally translates to symbol and ratio. Of course, symbol is nothing more than geometry or an archetype, and ratio is, of course, math. Now, this word or this logo is spoken by the alphabet, and there are 26 letters of the alphabet. So let's take a look at our alphabet, and let's take a look at it on the human hands. Here are the human hands. Now, there are 26 letters of the alphabet, and so we can split our alphabet into 13 and 13. Of course, 13 has always been considered an unlucky number. Now, we know we have 12 sections of our 4 fingers, or 3 on each finger. We can give the first letter of the alphabet to our thumb, or A, on our left hand, and the 26th letter being Z on our right thumb. And so this will give you A through M on your left hand and N through Z on your right hand. A and Z is nothing more than the alpha and the omega. Alpha being A, and Z equals Z, or end, and it's the omega. So we have our left hand and our right hand, or the alpha and the bet. And of course, between your hands is you. So let's sing the alphabet song now. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs, next time won't you sing with me? Notice we have now and I and know. Of course, that looks like a lot like now and now. So now I know, or do I know I now? The Greek Delphic Oracle says to know thyself. And so if we know our hands and the alphabet, we know ourself. One other thing we're going to see right here is the alphabet splits at the M and the N. And of course, the N to the Z is nothing more than the N flipped over to give you a Z. So let's take a look at our alphabet, splitting it from 13 and 13. So we have 26 letters of our alphabet, and we can split that alphabet between 13 and 13, or A through M on our left hand and N through Z on our right hand. Now, using the 7 days of creation, we can put numbers to our letters. Of course, there was 6 days where God did work, and the 7th day of which he rested, or the Sabbath. So A becomes 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, E is 5, F is 6, G is 7. Now, we're not going to walk up to 8, 9, 10, 11, etc. And instead, because God rested on the 7th day, we're just going to walk back down. H is 6, I is 5, J is 4, K is 3, L is 2, and M is 1. Of course, our left hand is nothing more than a mirror of our right hand, so we can do the same with the other 13. Now, let's pull out our prime numbers. Prime numbers is once again numbers divisible by 1 and themselves. 2 is a prime, 3 is a prime, 5 is a prime, 7 is a prime, 5 is a prime, 3, and 2. Of course, we can do the same on our right side. So let's underline our non-primes. 1, 4, 6, and 6, 4, 1. Right side is the same. 1, 4, 6, and 6, 4, 1. Notice we have the 7 days of creation. We also have 7 prime numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, with 7 being the central pillar, and the same here. So let's draw a line here, putting our pillar on each side of our alphabet. Notice we have G here, and we have T here. T is known as a symbol for man. It's in the Egyptian Ankh, or key of life, and it comes from the Greek Tao, which is probably derived from the Taoist Tao, which means the way or enlightenment. G we know from the Freemasonic symbol of the square and the circle, with the G in the center. So now, let's use the Jewish menorah as our guide and connect our non-prime numbers. 6 and 6, 4 and 4, and 1 and 1. Of course, we just have the same over here. 6 and 6, 4 and 4, and 1 and 1. 6 plus 6 is 12, and 4 plus 4 is 8, and 1 plus 1 is 2. Of course, we have the same over here. 12, 8, and 2. 12 plus 8 plus 2 equals 22. And that leads us, of course, to our 7. And 22 divided by 7 is pi. Of course, we have the same on our right hand. 22 and 7 equaling pi. Of course, this 22 and 7 equaling pi, and this other pi coming together to give you the Tetragrammaton, or pi begotten by 7 and pi begotten by 7, giving you 26, or the 26 letters of our alphabet. Let's add our prime numbers. 2, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, and 2. 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2 equals 27. 27 is known as a number of enlightenment in Buddhism, and 27 is nothing more than 3, or a trinity, cubed, or 3 times 3 times 3. There's also 27 bones in the human hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you add those up, you get 49. And 49 is nothing more than 7 squared. So you have a 49 here and a 49 here, giving you the number 98. It's going to be an important number as we move on. So notice we have our G in the center of our Freemasonic symbol, which is nothing more than a compass and a square. So let's take a look at this 7, this compass and the square, and the ancient art of squaring the circle. The ancient art of squaring the circle. Now notice on our G, on our Freemasonic symbol, we have a square and a compass. Compass, of course, creates a circle. And in sacred geometry, we know heaven is a 3 as a circle, and earth is a 4 as a square. And 3 plus 4 equals 7, 7 being the 7th letter of our alphabet. Now the ancient art of squaring the circle meant this. It meant taking a circle and making it into a square. And so the whole numbers, the ancients knew that 9 circle approximately equaled a square of 8. And so to find the area of a circle, we just take its radius, square that, times pi, and this will give you the area. So a circle of 9 is 4.5. So 4.5 squared times pi gives you 63.64. And 8 squared gives you 64. So 9 and 8 are very close. Of course, we had 49 on our left hand and 49 on our right hand, giving us 98 in our alphabet. And there's our 9 and our 8. Now, the squaring the circle also had to do with the earth and the moon. So if we have our earth and we draw the moon down and we put the moon right next to the earth, and we put a square around our earth, and we make a circle, the circumference of a circle, equal the perimeter of a square, it will cut right through the center of the moon. So if we put a dot in the middle of our Earth and a dot in the middle of the moon, and we add this, it gives us the radius of the moon and the Earth equaling 5,040 miles. Of course, this is why this 7 is important, and this G, because basically all we've done is square the circle. The 7 is important because 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 6 times 7 equals 5,040. So this Freemasonic symbol is telling you a lot. It's telling you the radius of the Earth and the moon, how to put numbers to the letters of our alphabet, as well as giving you the concepts of heaven and earth. So now that we've squared the circle, let's find Jesus in our alphabet. Jesus Christ was, of course, the Son of God. Now before we move on, this is our alphabet. So pause the video and take the time to write this down for reference as we move along. Jesus Christ was, of course, a man. And M and A and N are all one, giving you a trinity, or 3. Of course, M and N is where we split our alphabet. And Jesus was, of course, the alpha. So all we have to do is throw the A in there, and we realize that Jesus is a man. Of course, the Trinity we know as the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And the Father being the holy name of the Father, or the Tetragrammaton, the Son being the sun in our sky, and the Holy Spirit, we're going to use a circle as a whole, and we're going to spear the center of it, or to spirit. Before Jesus became Jesus Christ, he was Jesus of Nazareth. Nazareth is 1115576, and that equals 27, or the 27 bones of the human hand. 27 is, of course, the highest number of knowledge in Buddhism, and 27 is also a trinity to the third power, or a trinity cubed. So let's take a look at Jesus Christ. J is 4, E is 5, S is 6, U is 6, and S is 6. C is 3, H is 6, R is 5, I is 5, S is 6, and T is 7. Let's not look at Christ right now, and let's just look at Jesus. 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6 plus 7 gives you 27, or our number of enlightenment. Of course, notice the SUS is 666, and we have a 4 and a 5. Now in St. John's Revelation, it says 666 is a number of man, or here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of man, and his number is 666. Now, we can realize that this 666 is actually embedded in our number line of the Divine Nine, or the Ennead by the Greeks and Egyptians. So we can split our 9 numbers into a trinity, or 3 numbers each. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. 4 plus 5 plus 6 equals 15, and 1 plus 5 equals 6. And 7 plus 8 plus 9 equals 24, and 2 plus 4 equals 6, giving you the number 666. And of course, 6 plus 15 plus 24 is 45, giving you 45 and 666, or Jesus. Let's take a look at Christ. 365567. 365 is, of course, the number of days in a solar year, or 365 days of the sun. 5 plus 6 plus 7 equals 18. If you add 3, 6, 5, 5, 6, 7, you get 32. Now, Jesus was crucified at age 33 after performing 33 miracles. Of course, before he was crucified, he went missing 18 years. Now, in Freemasonry, you have 32 and 33 degrees. You can get to the 32nd degree on your own accord, but you have to be anointed or given the title of the 33rd degree. And of course, the name Christ literally means the anointed one. So you have 32 being Christ, and the 33 which he was crucified in the miracles. So now that we've found Jesus Christ in our alphabet, let's do a magic trick. Abracadabra. A is 1, B is 2, R is 5, A is 1, we can go 1, 1, 1, B is 2, R is 5, C is 3, and D is 4. If you notice, we have pi in the center of there, or 3.141. So now we can underline this and give the pi, which leaves us abra and bra. 1 plus 2 plus 5 plus 1 equals 9, or our circle, and 2 plus 5 plus 1 equals 8, or our square, or the 98 of our alphabet. Notice you have 4 letters up here, giving you earth, and 3 letters up here, giving you heaven. And between heaven and earth is nothing more than pi. Let's take a look at abracadabra. A-B-Ra. A-B is nothing more than the alphabet. Ra is, of course, the Egyptian sun god. And then we have pi in our center. We have B and Ra. Of course, B is B, and Ra is the Egyptian sun god. So literally it means the alphabet of the sun, which is pi, and it says, be a sun, or the sun is nothing more than a star. So speak the alphabet of the sun, and you will be a star, or you will be enlightened. 1 plus 2 plus 5 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 5 plus 1 equals 26, or the 26 letters of our alphabet, and the 26 of the Tetragrammaton, or the holy name of God. So now that we found Jesus and performed our magic trick, let's go back to that square and circle and a G in the Freemason symbol. Notice your hand almost naturally forms a G, giving you a grip. Notice the symbol for G is nothing more than the G, and of course this part is the T. Of course the G and the T were both our 7s in our left hand and our right hand of our alphabet. So what does this G stand for? Is it God, or the Grand Architect? Is it grammar, geometry, gnosis, which is nothing more than divine intelligence? Does it mean good? Does it mean Genesis? Does it mean gold? Let's see if we can find some gold in Genesis. Genesis 2:10. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted, and became into 4 heads, those 4 heads being north, east, west, and south, and of course, Eden being the circle. The name of the first is Pi Son, or Pi and the Son, or the Son of God. That is it which compasseth the whole. Compass, circle, the whole land. The whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. So, what is the gold in the land of Havilah? You. You are the gold in the land of Havilah. Havilah being 6155216, which equals 26, or the 26 letters of the alphabet, or the 26 of the Tetragrammaton. Of course, we live in the universe, and uni means one, and verse means line of poetry, or one line of poetry, or the you and I word, and that word being the Word of God. So let's take a look at a few words from the Bible and their numerical equivalents. Lord equals 13, God equals 13, Pope equals 13, John equals 13, numbers equal 26, Freemason equals 32, or the 32 and 33 degrees of Freemasonry. Freemasonry has 2 pillars called Jacquin and Boaz. Jacquin equals 20, Boaz equals 6, giving you 26. Now notice in our alphabet we can go A, B, or we can walk up to 7 and walk down. Walk back up to 7 and walk down, giving you the 26 letters of the alphabet, A through M and N through Z. So Jesus, of course, was a man. So let's spell out our alphabet, being M, A, N. The 26 letters of our entire alphabet being M, the alpha being A through M, this giving you 13 letters, and then the N being up to heaven, back down to earth, and up to heaven, giving you 20. 13 plus 20 is 33, or the 33 degrees of Freemasonry. and 26 is the 26 of the alphabet, or the Tetragrammaton. 26 plus 33 gives you 59. Of course, if you add Jesus, which was 27, and Christ, which is 32, you get 59. So now we realize that the alphabet is telling us that Jesus Christ was in fact a man. My name is Marty Leeds, 11572-25546, giving you 16 for Marty and Leeds being 22. Now with decimal parity, or adding the 1 and 6 together, we get 7, and 22 divided by 7 equals 3.142, or pi. I've written a book called Pi, The Great Work. You can get it at Amazon.com or CreateSpace.com, 371-7383. Thank you.